Have you ever wondered what is the difference between internal audit and risk management? It's a very interesting topic because majority of the people have a big confusion between what is internal audit and what is risk management. So I'm trying to explain this concept to you in this video. So when I started my career, I always had this confusion that what is internal audit and what is risk management. Apparently, it seems like they overlap the role and responsibilities, but over the time, I just figured out what is the key differentiating factor between internal audit and risk management. I started my career with Ernst& Young as a business risk consultant. We were involved in both kind of engagements. I was responsible at times to go and provide services related to internal audit and sometimes related to risk management. There was kind of a confusion for me for quite some time, but it took me a while to understand the key difference basically. So if we say in a simple terms, an organization to protect an organization, there are layers of defenses. So we call it three line of defense. So these each layer basically protect the company from any potential adverse risk. The first layer, we call it the front end management, those who are responsible for their day-to-day operational activities. These people needs to be aware and educated enough to understand what are the key risks that is relevant to their daily operations and how to mitigate and how to overcome and protect the company. The second layer of defense is basically, I personally would try to give you an analogy of a police, similar to a police within a country. The same way, the second line of defense, they protect within the organization generally different um, different operations and from different aspects, financial compliance and different aspects. So basically, the risk management people are the second line of defense who work with the management in order to make them aware or in order to highlight and facilitate them to manage the risk, be it internal, be it external. So basically, they work with all the departments within the organization, be it HR, finance, or any other department. And what they do, they provide a facilitation services by which they are able to consolidate entire risk in different department and make a risk register within that department, and out of that they assess which are the key critical risks which might be more strategic in nature, and that risk they take it to the top management in order to understand from them what is the risk appetite. Basically, risk appetite is nothing but how much the risk the organization can take it for certain kind of returns. So is it within the risk appetite acceptable level of risk? If it is not, then they have to escalate that to the board and or risk committee. But generally, they work with the management. So basically, their role is to educate, to facilitate, to gather, and to communicate about the risk to the top management, to the risk committee, or at times to the board. Whereas the internal audit department, basically they falls as a third line of defense. I would give them an analogy of an army within a country. So basically they are the one who try to safeguard from both internal and external threats, but they are at an oversight level. They generally do not work in terms of or responsible for any operational duties, and their main job is to give an assurance or an opinion on different operational activities, whether they are functioning as it is being or as it is deemed required. For that purpose, They even audit the risk management department in order to give an assurance to the shareholders and to the board of directors whether they are doing their job accurately or not. So this is the main function of internal audit. Basically, they audit all the departments, be it risk management, compliance, anti-fraud, or any other department. So in a simple nutshell, easy understanding, risk management is the second line of defense within the organization to protect the organization from any adverse event, and they are the people who are more specialized to report, consolidate, to collect, to consolidate, to report, and to help mitigate or manage the risk within the organization. And the internal audit department basically is the third line of defense, where their key responsibility is to give an assurance on different functions including the risk management in order to assure that whether they are doing their job in a manner that is desirable or not. And internal audit obviously do not look from only operational perspective, but from strategic perspective, from compliance, from competence level, whether the organization has enough competence or not. So there is multiple dimension by which we internal auditors basically look into each function and report to the audit committee or to the board on the current status of that assurance activities. So this is the key difference between internal audit and risk management. At times, in some organizations, both departments are being managed by a single individual or single department. They generally call it internal audit and risk management. Is it the right way to do? No, absolutely not. It's not the right way to do, because internal audit, they audit the risk management. If they become risk management, then someone else from the outside needs to come and audit them in order to give the assurance whether the internal audit as a risk manager, they are doing their job correctly or not. But in small organization or medium organization, I've seen due to budget limitation or at times they are transitioning from a low risk mature organization to higher risk maturity, and during that transition they keep it together and eventually they segregate both department after 3 years or 5 years. So this is in nutshell the key difference between internal audit and risk management, and I hope to see you in the next video and to give you some more insight about internal audit department. Thank you for watching.